Welcome to the Headland Arena in New Bedford. Dartmouth Community Media is proud to present Dartmouth High School Ice Hockey. Today, the Dartmouth Indians taking on the Somerset Blue Raiders, which historically has been an outstanding contest. Alongside Andrew Santos, I am Paul Santos. Dartmouth coming in with a record of 4-4. Dartmouth playing against Somerset, who has a record of 4-2. And as I said, Andrew, always a good contest between these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think regardless of record, year in and year out, these two teams are always kind of neck and neck. Similar type of areas, and they're real big rivals, you know. So I think over the years, you know, the Somerset-Dartmouth rivalry has been a little bit overshadowed by the Dartmouth-Staying rivalry a little bit. But make no mistake, this could get just as testy as any of those Staying games.
A lot of times it's a physical game. You see head coach Mark Rossi now in his third year at the helm here at Dartmouth High School. You saw a shot of Kevin Snyder, 35 years over there at Somerset. So a couple of excellent coaches here in the area. And
35 years, that's incredible. How about that, huh?
That's a good run, yeah. And I think about 28 of them have been as head coach and then the others as assistant coach. But they play a physical style, Somerset does, and they want to keep you on your heels.
They run a good program. They're never a team that you want to underestimate. And, you know, it's, as a former player, whenever we play Somerset, you always have that respect for them. They're going to come out, they're going to come at you hard, and you got to be ready for them.
All right, we're just about 40 seconds away from the buzzer. We'll start the game. The goaltender today for Somerset is Gavin Rodriguez, and between the pipes for Dartmouth, Jack Howarth. He's a sophomore. He's gotten off to a pretty solid start, and obviously last year you had the goaltender that graduated, and Machado is certainly not the easiest guy to follow.
No, definitely not. I mean, Machado is one of the better goalies we've seen over the last few years for Dartmouth, and he really bailed them out of a lot of different situations, and he was a lot of fun to watch. But, you know, this is high school hockey, and there's always a quick turnover. So, you know, now it's Howard's time to shine. It'll be interesting to see what he does tonight.
One of the things that happened last year is it was a really close game. As we take a look at the Dartmouth bench, it was a really good game last year. I think it was like, say, 1-1 at the end of one or something like that. And then all of a sudden Somerset went bang, 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 put 3 in, and that's hockey. That was it for Dartmouth after that. They couldn't crawl back.
And then if I remember correctly, you know, there was some tensions rising at the end of the game too. You know, as I was saying, these two teams, they always seem to have that type of rivalry type feel whenever they play. Like I said, very similar style of hockey, very similar type of town, very similar area. A lot of these kids from both teams grew up playing with each other, so the skill level and the talent are very similar, and the programs are very similar. So it's going to be a battle. It'll be a lot of fun to watch, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I was looking up and down the roster. It looks like Dartmouth only has 2 seniors, so that's good for the years to come, and they have some good leadership here with number 21, Aiden Cruz, team leader in points with 17, and number 10, Will Gibson, who is an anchor back there on defense.
Yeah, keep an eye on both of those two guys, as they've been a rock for the Dartmouth Indians for a few years now, and look to them to be leaders to their team and lead by example, and we'll see how they do tonight.
All right, looks like we're ready to have the singing of our national anthem. The teams are lined up on their respective blue lines. And I believe that's Dartmouth's Emma Tarek with the national anthem. Great job there with the national anthem. Dartmouth sophomore Emma Tarek getting things ready to go here at the Headland Arena. So just a moment away from the drop of the puck, and always an exciting moment here. I know you played for Dartmouth High School here, and the few moments when you lead up to the game, very exciting.
Hey, you got to come out of the gates like you're ready to play here if you're the Dartmouth Indians. Like I said before, Somerset is not a team to be taken lightly, so you can't be sitting on your heels. You got to come at them from the beginning of the game. So let's see if Dartmouth can start the game by putting the pressure, get the pucks in deep, get pucks on the net, and obviously establish the body as well in the offensive zone and defensive zone.
There's Gavin Rodriguez, the junior goaltender, between the pipes for Somerset Blue Raiders, the Somerset Berkley Blue Raiders. And between the pipes for Dartmouth, there he is, sophomore goaltender Jack Howarth. And taking the face-off will be Aiden Cruz, the senior. So we're getting ready to go here. Adam Bastis, the senior captain, taking the draw for Somerset. Quite a few fans come out here tonight. We're glad to see that on kind of a snowy day here in the Dartmouth, New Bedford area. So the fans have made it, and we're underway here at the Headland. Dartmouth winding up in their own zone. That's DaCosta. Looking for Aiden Cruz at center ice. And it's Will Gibson at his own blue line. Dartmouth and the Somerset Blue Raiders. Into the offensive end goes Maddox LaRocque. Shot bounces wide of the net, goes behind the net. Indians trying to get possession in the offensive end, but the Somerset Blue Raiders come back to the neutral zone. Gibson trying to go back to get it. Shot down on the goaltender, and Howarth sticks it aside. Somerset trying to keep it in the offensive end. And it's taken away here by Cruz. Cruz, sticky puck, and he banks it out. Sometimes in the beginning of the period that happens as it's iced.
A little bit of a misfire there by Cruz on the pass, but before that he did a really good job protecting the puck with his body and boxing out that Somerset offender. So hopefully as the game gets going, they sort of find their groove and they can make those passes moving forward.
Taking the draw now for the Indians, number 22, the junior center, Bro Powerland. And behind the net, the Indians have it long up on the wing. Long pass up ahead, too far ahead of Bo Parlin. Puck bounces down into the offensive end, however, for Dartmouth. And now into the neutral zone. Frankie Long up on the wing. Can't get it into the offensive end. Now he bounces it down. It's still at center ice, and finally it slid into the Somerset end. Down to get it there is Blankish. And it looks like the net is dislodged. The faceoff will be called.
Yeah, it looks like Liam Blankish actually lost an edge there and kind of crashed into his own net. So obviously when the net's off the post there, out of the bearings, then you got to blow the whistle dead and have an offensive zone face-off here upcoming for the Indians.
See the fans lining up behind the net here at Headland Arena. Good to see on this snowy day here along the south coast. Somerset trying to break out. Stopped and fired right back in there by Caden DaCosta. Nice defensive play at the blue line. Puck along the wing. Dartmouth trying to keep it in the offensive end. Will Gibson, the senior, bounces it down. It goes behind the net. Blankish around the wing. Tries to move it out. Puck bounces into the neutral ice area. Now a chance here for the Indians. To the middle of the ice, taken away by Somerset. And they counterattack the other way. Simmons for the Indians. Pass too far ahead of Chase Mello. And it goes behind the net, and Somerset will take over.
Yeah, not a lot of action going on here early on. Just a lot of turnovers in the neutral zone, a lot of bouncing pucks.
Lucas D'Souza can't keep it in, and back come the Blue Raiders. Tries to get it by the official. It kind of bounced off the official as Lucas D'Souza manages to move it forward, but Somerset Blue Raider player Gabriel Gonçalves, he gets knocked down. Cruz couldn't move in, and Somerset comes back the other way, bounces off the helmet of Caden DaCosta. Dartmouth behind their own net. Collected here by Aiden Cruz. Pass ahead, looking for number 9, Maddox LaRocque. Now Will Gibson will wind up for Dartmouth, the senior defenseman. Been playing quite a bit since sophomore year. Pass up ahead, here's Lucas D'Souza. D'Souza dangling to the middle. D'Souza, great save that time by Rodriguez. Another follow-up shot. Rodriguez stops that one, score! Maddox LaRocque, 1-0 Dartmouth.
Well, there's the action that we were looking for. What a dangle there, but I think it was D'Souza? Lucas D'Souza came in. He did a little in and out, Then it looks like the shot, I thought it bounced off the post, but it went around the net, and it just squirts right out to who else but Maddox LaRocque sitting there, ready for the puck. How many times in practice do you think he's made that shot? He isn't going to miss from there very often. 1-0 Dartmouth.
Well, with 12:19 to go in here in the first period, Maddox LaRocque with the rebound. And he just wound up and blasted that in right behind Gavin Rodriguez to make it 1-0. So last year, Somerset got on the board quickly in first. This time the other way around as Howarth has to squeeze the pads there to make a big stop for the Indians. That's a big stop because you don't want to give up a goal 15 seconds after you just scored at the other end.
Certainly not. We talk all the time about how hockey is a game of momentum, and as soon as things start swinging the other way, it's really hard to kind of find your footing and bring it back to him.
Evan Barboza making that shot, and the stop made by Howarth, and Dartmouth collects. Here's Lucas D'Souza out through neutral ice, stopped here by the Blue Raiders. This is Evan Barboza. Stolen, Aiden Cruz trying to pass it across. Score! LaRocque again!
Oh man, if you're Somerset, you've got to watch these two players right here. Number 21, Aiden Cruz, and number 9, Maddox LaRocque. These guys are absolute money. Tape to tape. Quick little turnover here in the offensive zone. Mistake by Somerset. And then just look at this look. And then the shot. What a snipe by Maddox LaRocque. And what a look by Aiden Cruz on the off wing.
So Maddox LaRocque with goals number 10 and 11 on the season. And the Indians off to a fantastic start here as they are doing kind of what Somerset did to them last year, getting a couple of goals in a very short period of time.
Yeah, just a short burst right there. I mean, Maddox LaRocque from seemingly the exact same spot. And man, he made no mistake, huh? Like you see the net just explode when the puck hits the twine there.
Aiden Cruz now with a team leading 14 assists. Really a big setup guy this year for Dartmouth. Somerset, weak shot goes wide of Howarth. Nice job there by Gibson to put his shoulder on his man, and back the Indians come the other way. Brady Boparland. Puck deep into the offensive end. Donadio, right wing corner. Somerset looking to move it up the wing. Kept in here by the Indians temporarily. That was Caden DaCosta. And now Somerset back the other way. Here comes Evan Barboza. Can't get over the red line. Chipped up there by Caden DaCosta of Dartmouth. In the neutral ice area, Gibson will come back to get it. 4 minutes played, 2-0 Dartmouth on a pair of goals by Maddox LaRocque, and some great assist work there by Aiden Cruz. Now a steal here by Somerset. And you got to watch those turnovers from the point. Blue Raiders a shot through. Stopped that time by Howarth. Had to be alert on that one.
Yeah, nice rebound control there by Caden DaCosta. Just gets it right out from in front of the net as soon as possible. That's exactly what you want to do. You can't let that puck sit in front of the net. Give the Raiders an opportunity to bury.
At center ice, here's Spurlatt. Drew Spurlatt slides it in. Stopped that time by Rodriguez between the pipes for the Blue Raiders. Taken away here by Dartmouth. Try to make a pass across. Behind the net, D'Souza. Indians all over Somerset in their end in the early going as Lucas D'Souza hard into the boards. There's a flip toward the net by Maddox LaRocque. Bounces down on the right wing side and out to center ice it comes. Indians carrying the play. Mason Sullivan, one of the co-captains, through the neutral zone. Stopped that time by Aiden Cruz, and he'll slide it down. On the forecheck, Maddox LaRocque. Louis D'Souza down there trying to steal it. Somerset trying to create some offense. Over the blue line they come. From the circle. Score! What a shot that time by Evan Barboza to make it 2-1.
Oh man, a little bit of puck luck there. As Barboza's moving through the middle, the neutral zone here. Look, puck is kind of bouncing around, and he seems to just find a way onto the tape of his stick, and then, man, how about that shot? What a look. He sees that little area, bottom left corner of the net. Just a little bit of area there, slides it in right inside the post. What a look by him. And look at this now, a one-goal game here. Somerset's right back in it.
Looked like there was virtually no room to get that puck into the net, and it just went inside the post. Quite a snipe that time by Barboza.
Just an incredible shot after a fortuitous bounce for him there, too, as well.
So just like that, the lead is cut in half, 2-1. Gibson gets upended in the corner by Adam Bastis, the senior co-captain. Indians chip it out. Nice play there by Zach Donacio. Now it's Colin Lush. And just to get the puck into the offensive end, Brady Boparlin slides off of his stick. Leaves it that time for Caden DaCosta. Big collision down here in the corner with Gibson. As down went number 15, Evan Barboza. And we have a whistle.
Let's see what we're going to get here.
Did not see a signal by the official
looks like
there.
there's 2 pucks on the ice.
Okay.
You don't see that very often.
Oh. Look at this collision right here. Barboza and Gibson, 2 seniors.
Yeah, it looks like Gibson didn't see Barboza coming until like the very last second. It caught him a little bit off guard there and knocked him off the knees, but he also fell too, so you know, it wasn't it wasn't really a hit that's going to help him out.
Face off, Somerset looking to get the puck down on net. It's out to the neutral zone temporarily. And now DaCosta plays it back to Gibson. Will Gibson behind his net, one of the 2 seniors on the team. Puck flipped out to the neutral zone. Knocked down here by Louis D'Souza, and he'll collect. D'Souza banks it out. Stopped here by Aiden Cruz. He'll backhand it down near Rodriguez. Going back to get it is Colin Lush. On the wing, taken away. Cruz trying to get it across to Maddox LaRock. Right wing side. D'Souza keeps it in. Gibson to the net. Now LaRock tries to throw it back out in front. Collected here by Somerset. And Somerset skates it out, but they made him work for it, that's for sure. And Somerset slides it down.
Well, it's never a bad play by Gibson. You get the puck on your stick at the point, you got a little bit of pressure. It's never a bad play just to throw it down there, especially with guys like Aiden Cruz and Maddox LaRock kind of lingering around there in the offensive zone.
Well, Parlin knocks a man down. Frankie Long throws the puck up, and it looks like it went out of play. We have a face-off coming up in the neutral zone. 2-1 Dartmouth, 7:45 to go in the first period.
Good game so far, a lot of back and forth action. You see both teams imposing their will and laying the body a little bit, and it's going to be a close game all the way until the end, I got a feeling.
Brady Boparlin taking the face-off for Dartmouth. Frankie Long moves it up through the neutral zone. Here's Boparlin with a slap shot, saved by Rodriguez. And Rodriguez will cover it up. Dartmouth gets the offensive zone face-off.
A little bit of a rebound there let up from Rodriguez here, but fortunately he's able to corral it before any of the Dartmouth defenders are deep enough in the zone. And we'll have an offensive zone face-off here for the Indians.
Brady Boparlin, the player who got it on net, takes the draw. Drew Spurlett bounces it down. Left wing corner, the Indians looking to dig it out. Try to get it out in front. Shot through a screen. Stopped by Rodriguez. He's rolling around in the crease, and somehow he keeps it out.
Oh, man. A little bit of a snapshot from the point here. And it looks like it bounces right off of Rodriguez's pad. And that's dangerous right there where you got the puck just laying there in the crease and multiple Dartmouth defenders around on seemingly every corner. And he's able to kind of go back in the Snow Angel and corral it there and keep the Indians from getting a two-goal lead.
Long at the point. All the way across. Spurlett. Shot. Blocked in front. Somerset looking to move it out. Can't do it. Backhander. And that goes high and wide. Pinching down is Frankie Long to keep it in. Takes the body behind the net. Boparlin looking to move it around. Donacio down there. And now Somerset moves it out as a Somerset player is leveled by Caden DaCosta. That was number 20, and that is Carta Silvia.
Oh, man, Silvia took a dangerous fall into the boards there. It looked like his neck kind of snapped, and he fell down. I'm surprised he stayed on the ice. And I was pretty worried there after seeing him go down. Looks like we're going to get a replay here. Watch what happens here. He gets absolutely leveled. You can see the way he's going down. It kind of came off the camera, but you can see the way his head is going into the board. I saw his neck kind of bend there, and just glad to see him get up and get back in the play after a hit like that.
That area right near the boards is always the most dangerous, which is why boarding gets called frequently if the referee, in their opinion, believes that was the case. But that area around the net is not around the net, around the boards. In fact, they've even highlighted the area. It is an area of concern for sure for safety reasons. D'Souza! Score! Again, Cruz with a setup. 3-1 Dartmouth.
Oh man, what another great look from Aiden Cruz over to D'Souza. And that exact same spot again. All three Dartmouth Indian goals from the exact same spot. And again, Aiden Cruz passing it from pretty much the exact same spot. And look at all, it goes actually to the other side of the net. The goalie's trying to get over, it goes the other way. Sometimes it's good to aim that way when you're on the off wing trying to take the one-timer. Getting back to that hit there, I think the reason why it wasn't called is just like you were indicating, that there's a little painted area there, and I believe the initial contact was just outside the area, so just a little bit too far from the boards to be called boarding. But what a play.
Dartmouth leads 3-1. Very exciting first period here at Hedlund Arena. Magnus Carrero up through the neutral zone, stopped here by Somerset temporarily. And it's out through center. Here comes the Costa. And the play is offside at the blue line. And Louis D'Souza pleading his case, but he's not going to win that argument. And a faceoff is coming up. Here's Rodriguez. He's seen a lot of shots on net so far for Dartmouth.
Yeah, Dartmouth's making it really difficult on him. You know, all three goals are pretty much cross-ice passes there. One of them was off a rebound, but, you know, the Dartmouth forwards are making it easier for each other.
Somerset with an offensive opportunity here. Shot saved that time by Howarth. Howarth couldn't get the rebound. Somerset behind the net, trying to center it out in front, and is chipped out to center ice there by Zach Donacio. Banked that time down into the offensive end by Chance Simmons. Behind the net, Somerset moves it out on the wing. Having trouble moving it out of their own end. Dartmouth's forecheck has been really relentless. I think Somerset has had a hard time moving out, but here they come. Evan Barboza, he's got a goal tonight. Barboza gets tripped as he comes across the ice. And a penalty is going to be coming up on Brady Boparland for tripping.
Oh man, exactly what you don't want to do after taking a 2-goal lead here. It's still early in the game. You're giving Somerset a pivotal power play at the end of the first period. But, I mean, hey, he was just walking right into the front of the net, so, I mean, obviously you got to try to stop him as well.
Barboza looked like Bobby Orr flying through the air there. But puck did not end up in the net, but Somerset goes on the power play, and we see our first power play of the night for the next 2 minutes. Nice. And a big, big power play here for the Blue Raiders.
Nice immediate face-off win there from the Indians. Just immediately get out of the zone. Not even 2 seconds into the power play is already in the Somerset defensive zone. And now they got another face-off all the way down. We're already almost 20 seconds into the power play. Good start for the Indians so far in this penalty kill.
Dartmouth leading 3-1, and you know, you have to look at it. It's early in the game. It's only the first period, but I still think it's a big kill for Dartmouth because, you know, you're trying to pull away and Somerset keeps coming back at you.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, Somerset's not one of those teams that's just going to give up. They're going to keep playing you neck and neck all the way until the end. So can't be resting on your heels at any point in this game against Somerset.
Evan Barboza comes around the wing. Somerset couldn't collect, and it's banked out that time on a nice play by Maddox Larocque.
What a nice look by Maddox Larocque. Smart play, sees a little bit of area on the glass and just gets it up off the glass and out of the zone.
And Aiden Cruz clears it down after Spillett takes the body of number 14, Adam Bastis. Almost the entire first minute has been killed already, and Somerset has put no pressure on the Dartmouth goalie yet. But here they come. Shot blocked by Gibson. Puck loose in the slot. Backhanded out there by Aiden Cruz.
Oh, Maddox Larocque was looking for the hat trick in front of the net. And what a play by Mason Sullivan, the senior captain for Somerset to lift his stick and just prevent that opportunity there.
Somerset moves it out. Collected here, though, by Louis D'Souza. Short-handed chance. Score! Short-handed goal, Louis D'Souza.
Oh, man, look at this. So they put the body on him, but he kind of just bounces right off. You got to try to get your stick in the way, or at least try to lift his stick from that angle there. He took the body, but you know, he didn't really fall over. It didn't really disrupt him enough, and he was able to just kind of walk in. Somerset goalie's caught deep in the net, and now you got a 3-goal lead for Dartmouth on a short-hander and a bit of a backbreaker there for Somerset. And a wise timeout here called by the Somerset head coach. You don't typically see a timeout called in the first period at the high school level, but a wise decision here by the Somerset head coach to try to recenter his team's focus.
Yeah, that's Kevin Snyder, been around for 3 decades, and he decides to try to stop the bleeding here. LaRocque with a pair of goals. Louis D'Souza with a pair of goals. Aiden Cruz has been involved in just about all of them. And the Indians are out in front by a score of 4-1. I mean, even on the power play, you got D'Souza down there, you got Cruz down there, creating all kinds of havoc. And they end up getting 2 offensive opportunities. The second one goes in the net. Yet down here, there's hardly any action, even though Somerset's on the power play.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, the Dartmouth forwards are really making life easy for each other. Aiden Cruz with those cross ice passes, and then whoever receives the pass, it doesn't really seem like it matters. They got a wide open net, and they're making no mistake at burying them. And just a really good effort from Dartmouth so far, and the chemistry seems to be flowing, and they seem to be finding each other in those opportunities, and they're burying.
Well, it's 31 seconds left on the Somerset power play, down to 3:58 to go here in the first period. So we'll see what happens here. But 3 goals for Dartmouth, 1 on the penalty kill, a shorthanded goal. And the Indians in control in the early going. Somerset still got some time here on the power play. Barboza, he's the only goal scorer so far for Somerset. Is Sullivan, shot, blocked in front, loose puck, and it's cleared away. On the wing, Simmons takes the hit. Kept in though by the Blue Raiders shot. They try to get a tip on the way through, it goes wide. Now it's collected here by number 15, Barboza. Barboza plays it down now to Bastos. Bastos with a shot, stopped that time by Howarth. And it's cleared by the Indians, Gibson.
Ooh, Bastos saw his corner there. You could see him lift his head up in that 1 second, and you saw him picking that spot. And man, what a save by Jack Howarth. He read it. He made eye contact with the player. He brought that shoulder. He shrugged his shoulder. He brought his shoulder right up to his earlobe, and he blocked that puck from going on the top shelf. But what a good look from Somerset there at the end, or the tail ender, right after the power play. And just couldn't cash in, and still a 3-goal deficit here. If you're Somerset, you want to try to pump one in here before the end of the period.
Aiden Cruz taking the face-off here for Dartmouth. Unable to get it out. Backhanded across the crease there by Somerset. As Brett Axon got it near the net, but now a chance here for LaRocque. LaRocque down into the right wing side. Aiden Cruz down there as well. Somerset manages to get it past Gibson. No icing as Gibson got a piece of it. Stopped there by Howarth, and behind the net it is Caden DaCosta. 2:50 to go in the first period. Puck bounces out to center ice. Stopped here by the Blue Raiders. Banked right back in. Trying to set up a play in the offensive end. Stopped by Donaccio of Dartmouth. Not Aiden Cruz. Aiden Cruz trying to dangle his way through. Cleared out by Somerset. Indians persistent in that offensive end. Here's LaRocque. Has D'Souza with him. Somerset fires it down. It's going to be icing against the Blue Raiders, and the Indians get yet another offensive zone faceoff.
Yeah, Aiden Cruz going in there. He's kind of all by himself, so unfortunately no one to pass to wide open on the off wing on that play. So he's trying to do a little dipsy-do there. Kind of lost it in the Somerset defender's skates. But again, resulting play at the end of that play, we're back here for an offensive zone for a face-off for the Indians.
Kept in by Dartmouth's Frankie Long. Behind the net. Somerset gets it though, and it's Colin Lush. Through the neutral zone. Here comes Somerset on the attack. Great shot, blocked that time by Frankie Long. Off the stick of number 16, Sylvia. Now it's Spurlett. Drew Spurlett through the neutral zone, gains the red line. Tries to get it into the offensive end, but Somerset collects. Back come the Blue Raiders, cross corner, knocked down by Frank Long. Out through center ice, intercepted here by Kamara of Somerset. Now it's Frankie Long. Out through center ice. And it's the Blue Raiders at their own blue line. 1:43 to go here in the first period. Drew Spurlett. He's a junior defenseman for Dartmouth. Gets it into the offensive end. Frankie Long follows it right back up for the Indians. Territorially, Dartmouth has the advantage, no question.
Yeah, so far Dartmouth, like I said, they've come out, established a lot of pressure in the offensive zone, and it's been a little bit too much for Somerset to handle.
Spurlett taken away now by Mello. of Somerset. Long behind the net, takes the hit. Brady Boparland battling down there with Adam Bastis. Puck goes around to the other side. Frankie Long can't poke it past Nate Mello. 1 minute to play here in the first period. Aiden Cruz. Nice little move, but the second Somerset player keeps it down in the corner. Blue Raiders, big hit down here behind the net as Aiden Cruz lays the hit. Centering pass, tipped that time by Frankie Long. Somerset trying to make a move. Cleared out that time by Spurlett as he gets knocked down but still clears it.
Surprisingly not a trip there as the stick got stuck in the skate blades of the Indians, and the ref decided not to call a penalty.
30 seconds to go here in the first period. Dartmouth still penetrating. Shot saved that time by Rodriguez. Indians still coming at them offensively. Cruz all the way across. Louis D'Souza on the far wing. Taken away, and back comes Somerset. Somerset on the attack. Trying to move in. There's a shot. Score! Nate Mello has made it 4-2.
Oh, man, what a big goal from Somerset here at the end of the first period. Nate Mello kind of found puck in the slot here as his teammate lost the puck, and he's coming across in the opposite direction, which is tough for Howarth to read. And go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I don't like the fact that you give up a goal with 11 seconds left when you had a 4-1 lead, you know?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Those hurt. As you said, big goal for Somerset. Somerset went on the attack. And the Indians were all over Somerset, but then, you know, with about, 15 seconds left, Somerset came barreling down this end. And they managed to move it into the offensive end, and then the puck ended up on the stick of Nate Mello, and Nate Mello just let it rip. Take a look.
Well, there's the dangle there from earlier.
Oh, that's earlier. Okay.
The Rock with the snipe there, top shelf. But yes, Dartmouth's been carrying the play here for a majority of the game as we're looking through some of the highlights. I think, here's the second goal here from Cruz to LaRock. Again, top shelf, same spot, right over the shoulder. And you got Somerset's goal here. The senior, Evan Barboza, coming in after a fortuitous bounce, picks that spot on the opposite side, right inside of the post. You got a goal here from the Indians. Again, now this time to the opposite corner of the net by D'Souza. And assisted by Cruz yet again. 3 assists on the night for Cruz, or I believe 2. And then, oh man, what a dangle there from D'Souza again. Setting up the play. D'Souza bringing the play into the offensive zone, and sometimes even if those dangles don't work out, they can work in your favor. And then we obviously got Mello's goal here, big goal at the end of the at the end of the first period to pull them within two goals. And as we were just saying, that's a goal that you absolutely do not want to give up as the Indians. But at the same time, the Indians have been carrying the play, and they're still up by 2 goals. So you got to try to look at the positives here and focus on the positives. Somerset, like I said, the Indians have been carrying the play, so Somerset has really capitalized on those goals off the rush. So if you're the Indians, you try to limit those opportunities and try to push them a little more towards the outside on the rush, then I believe the Indians will be able to come away today with a win. But again, as we've been saying all night, you really don't want to rest on your heels against a team like Somerset because they're just going to keep coming at you and they're going to keep scoring those ugly goals in front of the net.
Lots of action here in the first period. 6 goals end up in the nets here for each team as you add it all up. And at the end of one period, it is Dartmouth 4, Somerset 2. Back with second action from the Headland shortly. Second period about to begin between Dartmouth and Somerset, live on YouTube from Headland Arena. Alongside Andrew Santos, I am Paul Santos. Goal scorers for Dartmouth, 2 by LaRock and 2 by D'Souza. Goal scorers for Somerset, Evan Barboza and Nate Mello. And we're all set to pick it up here in the second period. You'll have to see what happens. I mean, that goal with 11 seconds left, you never want to see that, but maybe it won't hurt Dartmouth in the long run. As you said, Dartmouth's been carrying the play. Gibson with a shot, deflected wide, right out of the gate as the senior captain fires one in.
Yeah, I was going to say the first 5 minutes of this period is going to be interesting to watch to see if Somerset can carry over some of that momentum from the end of the first period. But so far, the Indians' first 30 seconds have got it in the offensive zone. And we'll see what happens here as Somerset starting to break out.
Evan Barboza, he has a goal tonight. Slides it all the way around. They try to move it to the middle area. Bounced into the right wing corner that time by Barboza. Somerset trying to keep the puck in the offensive end, but the Indians come out with it. And here's LaRock looking for D'Souza. D'Souza back to LaRock. And he ends up, wow, D'Souza just got leveled that time by Mason Sullivan.
D'Souza looking to lay the hit and just ends up being the one that ends up taking a seat.
Rodriguez made a save that time on Dartmouth. Aiden Cruz is holding on to his wrist as he goes down, and he'll skate off the ice. You don't want to see that.
Yeah, no call there by the ref on what looked like a little bit of a slash or a trip on Aiden Cruz. You don't like to see that as he's one of Dartmouth's top players.
And definitely Somerset coming out with some ferociousness here. Barboza trying to cut to the middle. Puck goes around to the left wing side. Somerset fighting to keep it in. So the middle slot area goes, and now it's bounced out by Dartmouth. And it's going to be icing against the Indians.
Well, he's been all over the ice tonight, Lucas D'Souza. He's made his mark on the game, and he's coming in the zone, and he's trying to get it right back over to, I believe it was Cruz. And the way that the play was going, he just wasn't able to get it. Just got it right in front of him. Just missed the pass on a quality opportunity from the Indians early on here in the second period.
Face off now to the left of Jack Howarth. Sylvia taking it for Somerset, but Dartmouth moves it out. Here come the Indians, but it's stopped this time by Colin Lush. Carried into the offensive end by Somerset. Centering pass, hops over a stick, and back comes the Indians. Somerset knocks it down at their own blue line. Brady Fitzpatrick for Somerset. Slides it all the way down, goes all the way around to the right wing side. Collected here by Dartmouth. And here come the Indians. And the puck is lost that time at the last minute by Chance Simmons. Puck slides down. Chasing it is Gavin Kamara.
Looked like Simmons kind of lost control there and just let his teammate grab it, Bo Parlin, and Bo Parlin fanned on the shot.
Loose in that face-off circle area. And the puck is flipped out that time by the Indians. Back to get it. Somerset. Blankenkush. Couldn't move it out. Stopped here. Cruz with a shot. I mean, yeah, Aiden Cruz back out there. Shot goes wide. Good to see him right back out on the ice. Somerset looking to move it out. Backhanded out that time by Brady Fitzpatrick. But here's Aiden Cruz turning on the Jets. Cruz to D'Souza. D'Souza! Score! Hat trick D'Souza.
Oh, man, what a snipe by D'Souza right in the slot there, bar down. And Aiden Cruz does a great job here of cutting off the defender. Almost sets like a little bit of a basketball pick there as he's cutting through the zone, leaves the puck for the trail man, and that gives D'Souza plenty of time to look up, pick his spot, and he, again, makes absolutely no mistake. This top line for Dartmouth is absolutely rolling here tonight, and another beautiful goal.
Wow, Louis D'Souza, Aiden Cruz, and, of course, Mattis Carrero, seeing him before. Really an enjoyable group to watch here. And they've dominated tonight so far. 5-2 they lead. Mason Sullivan, one of the co-captains. Puck slides in there on goaltender Howarth. Maddox Carrero. Maddox LaRock, moves it out to the neutral zone. Stopped here that time by the Indians. at their own face-off circle. And here's Gibson. A little bit too far ahead of Maddox LaRock. Back comes Somerset, Aaron Preston. Aaron Preston looks like he got hit in the leg.
That's going to be a trip. Oh, looks like the ref's calling interference on it.
Going against Aiden Cruz, it looks like.
Looks like skate-on-skate contact here, and he just sweeps him. Maybe a little bit of shoulder and arms, too, there from Cruz. And Somerset player doesn't have possession of the puck, so the ref's going to call interference.
So once again, Somerset with an opportunity here on the power play, trying to chisel their way back into the game, down by 3. Back to the point. Played down there by Blinkush. There's a wrist shot. Save that time by Howarth. He had to flash the right pad and kick that one out.
What a great little play from Spurlett there in front of the net. He jumps up and grabs, swats the puck away with his hand.
Somerset trying to set up here on the power play. Evan Barboza trying to get by Spurlett. Barboza goes behind the net. Plays it across, one-timer, and a save that time by the goaltender, Howarth. Behind the net, the Blue Raiders. Cam McKenna trying to get some help from Liam Blinkush. Gibson behind the net for Dartmouth. Fighting hard to get possession of that puck. Hard work going on along the near wall. McKenna there as well for Somerset. Somerset comes out with it. Looking to move it out in front. 1 minute left on the power play. Kept in at the point. From the circle. Wrist shot through. Goes high and wide of the net, and another chance there by Bastos. He's had a few good looks at the net tonight. Evan Barboza on the near half wall. Plays it down low. Bastos with a shot. Knocked down and blocked and cleared out by Dartmouth's defense.
Bastos looking up to the rafters there. Three good chances, and all 3 of them squandered by the Indians.
Here comes Fitzpatrick. Puck played to the far wing and cleared out here by Dartmouth. 20 seconds left on the Somerset man advantage. Here's Blinkush. Up ahead to Brady Fitzpatrick. Hit by Louis D'Souza. And Dartmouth can't clear. Barboza shot. Blocked in front. Loose puck in the slot. Follow-up shot. Score! Looked like a fortuitous bounce. Puck landed in the crease. And it is buried by Somerset. Brady Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, it looks like Mello actually right there in front. And no, actually doesn't get a piece of it, so you're right, Fitzpatrick. And just happened to be in the right spot at the right time. Looks like it kind of trickles in, and Howarth gets a piece of it. But nonetheless, Somerset there at, I believe, the tail end of the power play, able to come right back into the game and pull within 2 again. And here we go.
5-3. Somerset right in there. Dartmouth trying to answer quickly. Indians keep it in. Puck played behind Rodriguez in that Somerset net. Blinkush for Somerset. Up on the right wing side. A battle there of players trying to get control of the puck. Louis D'Souza on the offensive end for Dartmouth. He steals it. He gets bumped that time, however, by Blinkush. Now a shot! Oh, just missing was Maddox LaRock. Now it's Aiden Cruz out in front. Score! D'Souza!
Oh, man, this top line for Dartmouth just cannot be stopped. Lucas D'Souza with his 4th goal of the night. And how about the setup king here, Aiden Cruz? All he's got to do is move around nice with his head up, and he's got 2 guys that are just going to be ready to bury it at will at any moment. Man, these guys are fun to watch, and the chemistry just continues to grow as the season's moving along here. What a fun line to watch here tonight.
Lucas D'Souza came into the game with 7 goals. He's got 11 now. 11 goals on the season, 4 tonight. And Aiden Cruz setting up many of them. Maddox LaRock involved.
And we're not even halfway through the game.
And it's 6-3. We've seen 9 goals. So Somerset trying to chisel their way back into the game, and every time they make a move, the Indians come right back with a back-breaking goal. But a long way to go. Indians, shot, saved that time by Rodriguez. He has to go up and glove the rebound out of the air as Brady Boparlin was sneaking in for the rebound.
Oh man, that was a great looking save, but you got to think that this one isn't going to count if it goes in, as it's obviously off of Boparlin's mitt there. But nonetheless, I mean, it was a flashy looking save there. Fun to look at by Rodriguez.
Aiden Cruz will take the face-off here for Dartmouth. 8 minutes even to go here in the second period. Won that time by Somerset. Played around by Mason Sullivan. Stopped here by Dartmouth. Maddox LaRock couldn't control. And now Somerset the other way. Reshot high and wide off the stick of Nate Mello. He has a goal tonight. He was looking to put that one under the crossbar. And Dartmouth slides it down. Did he put a little bit too much on it? Yes, he did. Icing against Dartmouth. Well, we've certainly had an entertaining product on the ice here tonight. I guess the coaches who like to emphasize defense would not be happy, but as far as the fans, 9 goals tonight.
Yeah, not a lot the goalies can do. I mean, they're being hung out to dry here. A little bit of defensive breakdowns. A lot of guys wide open on the off wing and in the upper slot, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. And you know, these Dartmouth Somerset games, as we said in the beginning, they're never a snooze fest. So always exciting hockey to watch here.
Shot goes wide. Now a follow-up here by Somerset. Turnaround shot. And it goes wide of the net by Nate Mello. Evan Barboza that time, excuse me, as he has a goal tonight, and he almost had a bid for another one there behind the net. A wraparound shot won't go. Back to the point. Somerset looking to line up a shot. And that's deflected wide off the stick of Colin Gonsalves. Gabriel Gonsalves. Behind the net, Somerset trying to get possession. Aiden Cruz knocks a man down. Physical play in that corner. Cruz is down there along with Spurlett is part of it too.
Might be seeing some roughing matching penalties here as the puck wasn't even underneath them and they're still going at each other in the corner. We'll see what the ref decides here. Both players chirping at each other as they're making their way to the box. All the way to the box. As Cruz is jawing. Cruz jawing back and forth with the Somerset captain, Adam Bastis, who's had a pretty frustrating night, like we just saw on the power play. Missed 3 shots there on the off wing. Probably getting a little frustrated there, taking some of the frustration out on Cruz. And going to take a moment to just kind of collect ourselves before the next face-off here in the defensive zone, for the Indians, and the offensive zone for the Raiders.
So matching penalties that time. Cruz and Bastis in the box. They'll play 5-on-5 on the ice. And the faceoff will be to the right of Dartmouth goaltender Jack Howarth. He is a sophomore, and he's done a nice job in net for Dartmouth so far. And he makes another save there, but to score on the rebound to make it 6-4. Somerset just keeps on coming. And a goal that time by Brady Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that's Fitzpatrick again. And man, you got to respect Somerset. They just keep coming after the Indians here, no matter how big the deficit. And another massive goal here. There's still about half the game left. We're only halfway through, and yet again a 2-goal lead for the Indians. And Somerset breathing life back into themselves yet again, wind in the sails again. And we'll see if they can build on that momentum here for the rest of the period and buy another one to make it a 1-goal game before the third period begins.
So a wild one here at Hedlund Arena, 6-4 now. As Somerset has cut it back to 2 again. And a face-off by Brett Axon for Somerset. Louis D'Souza gets it. Moves it up to the blue line. D'Souza gets it again. Stopped here by Blinkush. Down near the net. Cleared out that time by Gibson. Now here's Somerset. Brett Axon into the offensive end. Cruz has to go back to help out defensively. Play goes into the corner. And back come the Indians. Maddox to the net. Save that time by the goaltender Rodriguez. Back door was Chance Simmons trying to follow up on the rush by Maddox LaRock.
Nice little dangle here and patience by LaRocque as he comes over and throws the backhand in front. And then Rodriguez sees the rebound in front and is able to jump on it and corral it before the Indians can get to it and capitalize on the rebound. And really pivotal save there from Rodriguez at the end, towards the end of the second period here.
Evan Sylvia takes the draw. Puck played around here by Somerset. Long pass up, taken away by the Indians. Down near the net. Somerset skates it away dangerously as Carter Sylvia moves it out. Sylvia takes a shot, knocked down by Howarth. And Howarth will cover up, and Somerset gets an offensive zone faceoff.
A dangerous looking fluttering shot there from,
I
from
was
the
thinking
point.
the same thing.
And fortunately for Howarth, he's able to kind of find it and knock it down and get on top of it before any of the Somerset defenders can get in. And he keeps the Indians ahead by 2 here as he gets another one right off the faceoff.
Got to credit Somerset. A couple of times the Indians looked like they were going to pull away, and Somerset keeps coming back, hanging around.
I've been saying this since before the game. You just have to respect the program and the leadership over at Somerset. They will not go away.
Somerset keeping it into the blue line. Puck goes down behind the net. Spurlett behind the net. Now they try to center it out in front. High slot, dangerous. Couldn't get the shot off. Now they chop away at it. And it gets deflected up and out of play off the stick of Gabe Gonsalves. Tell you, any one of these plays down there and it could end up in the net.
Man, Somerset is feeling that little burst of energy there after that last goal. They, like I said, win back in the sails here, and now they've got a couple of chances in the offensive zone. They've had a couple of looks, and Dartmouth kind of scrambling in front, but doing a pretty good job of neutralizing the play right in the front of the net and trying to keep the pucks to the outside. Let's see if they can clear the zone here off the face-off and get some pressure the other way.
Face-off collected here by the Indians. Pass up on the wing. Here's Louis D'Souza. Louis D'Souza. Drop pass. Didn't work. Counterattack the other way, Barboza. Barboza trying to cut to the net. Falls down. No penalty. From the point. Wrist shot through. Blocked in front. LaRocque moves it to the center ice area, but it's stopped here by Somerset. They fire it down wide of Howarth as he gets a stick on it. Alex LaRocque leaves it for Will Gibson. Long pass up ahead. Trying to connect with Chance Simmons. And now it's D'Souza. D'Souza out in front. LaRocque couldn't get the shot off. LaRocque tries to play it back to the point, but it's intercepted this time by Kamara. Kamara gets bumped by Gibson. Puck goes down into the offensive end for Somerset. Cleared out by Dartmouth.
Man, what an impressive look from D'Souza. I couldn't believe that he got the puck over there in the slot. I don't think Maddox LaRocque could believe it either, as he was unable to corral it and get a shot off. And it looks like Cruz as well as Bastis are out of the box now. They give each other a little bit of a tap, and is it willing to let bygones be bygones there as they head back to the bench.
3 times tonight, Dartmouth has had a 3-goal lead. They led by 4-1, 5-2, and 6-3. And all 3 times, the 3-goal lead was cut to 2. And it happened again here to make it 6-4 just a few moments ago.
It makes for some good viewing of the game. You're watching the game, it keeps going back and forth, and it makes it fun for us as fans to be watching a game like that.
Brett Axon taking the draw here for Somerset. Tries to move it forward. Collected here by Dartmouth. Banked out to center ice. Knocked down by Blankish. Dartmouth moves it in to the front of the net. Cleared out here by Somerset. Goes all the way down and is going to be icing against the Blue Raiders. Yeah, I'll tell you, these last few minutes of the second period could be costly for one team or the other. The Somerset keep coming, maybe chip away another goal. Does Dartmouth get another 3-goal lead again, or none of the above?
Yeah, we're standing in the Indians' offensive zone. It really doesn't feel like the puck has been down here much this period, so I'm sure the Indians are breathing a sigh of relief as they're down here now.
Out of the corner, there's a shot blocked out front by Rodriguez, trying to spread out to keep the net covered. And the Indians could not follow up with a goal there as Bryce Desiree tried to get a shot off. A man gets knocked down, no call that time. As down went number 17, Brett Axon. Looked like he might have lost his footing.
Yeah, it looks like he just lost an edge, so it was a good non-call by the ref there.
Big collision here involving a couple of players. There's a shot that goes wide of the net. Brady Boparlin part of that. 3:46 to go in the second period. Aiden Cruz winding up behind his own net. Picking up some steam to the offensive end. Behind the net, knocks a man down, keeps possession of the puck. Now he leaves it for Gibson. Will Gibson behind the net. The senior defenseman leaves it this time for Larocque. Larocque out in front, a backdoor pass. It just happened to hit one of the defenseman's skates as Louis D'Souza was parked out in front of the net, and he's got 4 goals tonight.
What a little nifty backhand look by Larocque. It was almost like he had eyes on the back of his head, and the puck just wasn't able to squirt through, but man, pretty impressive vision there by sophomore Maddox Larocque in the offensive zone. Again, what a night this first line has had here. Just buzzing all over the place.
Evan Silvio against Louis D'Souza on the faceoff. To the right of Rodriguez. There's a shot by Larocque. And a glove save that time by Gavin Rodriguez, the junior goaltender. So every time Maddox Larocque gets a hold of that puck, the goaltender better be on alert.
He better take note. There was a little bit of mustard behind that shot too, as there always is from Larocque. So
Larocque has it now. Plays it down behind the net. All the way around. Larocque back there trying to help chase Simmons. Here goes Larocque, a backhander, blocked. Louis D'Souza. He's got 3-4 plays on him in front of the net. As Somerset clears out the area out in front of Gavin Rodriguez.
D'Souza chirping the 4 people that teamed up on him, as if to say, I scored 4 goals on you tonight. And Larocque didn't really have too much here. I'm sure he was trying to go short side there with the backhand, and it's really difficult to get some power on that backhand, especially when you're moving in the opposite direction. There wasn't really much he could do, but with D'Souza in front of the net and the kind of night that he's having, throwing it in front with him there is never a bad play.
Somerset moving it out through the neutral zone. Here comes Barboza. Barboza bumped by Gibson. Pass to the wing. There's a shot. Oh, that was high and wide. That was dangerous. Somerset thinking about cutting it to a 1-goal lead. Of course, Dartmouth. Now here comes Gibson. Gibson loses an edge. Plays it around looking for Louis D'Souza. Aiden Cruz all the way across looking for Maddox Larocque. Larocque across out in front. Oh, a great stop that time by Rodriguez on Gibson.
Oh man, Rodriguez has really come alive here in the second half of the second period. He's made some fantastic stops.
Just got a piece of it with the left skate.
Man, and the senior captain of Dartmouth, Aiden Cruz with a quality chance here. And look at that look from Larocque too in front. He's coming across. Oh, and it was actually senior Will Gibson coming across, and man, it looked like that was going in as he was coming against the momentum. The goalie was able to Rodriguez is able to get his skate just on it. What a beautiful save.
And after getting his skate on it, the puck continued and just went wide of the goal post. Puck goes all the way down, and Howarth covers that up as Evan Barboza was charging in, looking to try to see if he could get a piece of that, but the faceoff will be in the offensive end, where the next goal is going to be really big. Either Somerset is going to get to within 1, which they haven't been in a long time, or Dartmouth can give themselves some distance. 3 times they've had a 3-goal lead as the puck is iced again, and 3 times Somerset has cut it to 2.
Man, how about that save from Gavin Rodriguez? I mean, that was just unbelievable. I almost thought for sure that was going in the net as he got it and he was coming across, and that was a beautiful look from Larocque. And man, just the ability to get the skate on that, especially at this point of the game, it was absolutely clutch save. Unbelievable.
Would have been a crucial goal if Dartmouth was able to put that one in, but it wasn't to be as Somerset keeps it in. Puck around the face-off circle, dangerously centering pass. Open net, they score! Somerset is within 1. Nate Mello again.
Oh man, the studs for both teams showing up again here. And we have Nate Mello in front of the second of the game. The puck just squeaks right out to him, and those are those dirty goals where you get the rebound, and Somerset's pulled within one goal after it felt like they were kind of out of the game at one point. And man, I just can't stress enough that save by Rodriguez was such a big turning point of this game. Man, breathing some life into Somerset there with that amazing stop. And look at that, a goal right after from Somerset, building off of that momentum. Unbelievable.
Maddox LaRock. Follow up here by Louis D'Souza. 6-5 Dartmouth. There's a shot, glove save there by Rodriguez. And he'll leave it for his defenseman, Liam Blankush. Taken away. LaRock out in front. There's a wrist shot through. Save that time by the goaltender, Rodriguez, off the stick of Caden DaCosta. Back comes Colin Lush through the neutral zone. Pass too far ahead of Aaron Preston. Now the Indians back the other way. Here comes Aiden Cruz. Cruz with a shot. Block. Follow-up. Save that time by Rodriguez. Now DaCosta out in front. Saved by Rodriguez. Cruz trying to hack away at it, and it's cleared out by Somerset. Heavy action.
Oh, man, as time has gone on in the second period, Rodriguez has been getting more and more comfortable in that net. And he has made just some fantastic saves down the stretch here to keep his team in the game. Man, has he been fun to watch tonight.
Mason Sullivan. Now the Indians. Backhander save again by Rodriguez. Rodriguez centering pass by Bo Parlin. Gets deflected. And Somerset clears it out. Follow up here by the Indians. A man gets knocked down. That was Aaron Preston. Somerset looking for a call. They don't get it. Puck bounces out to the neutral area. Did not gain the red line, so that's going to be an icing call against Somerset.
Got to know the situation that you're in there. So now you're giving the Indians an opportunity here. You're down by one goal and you got all this momentum. And you're up on the boards and irresponsibly you ice it. Now you're giving the Indians a prime opportunity here on the face-off in the offensive zone here at the end of the second period.
Brady Boparlin will take it for Dartmouth. Can the Indians get a shot off in the next 7 seconds? The officials making sure that everyone's lined up properly. Boparlin trying to hold it so that a shot can get off. They can't. And time will expire here in the second period. What a wild period, as Dartmouth was able to get leads of 4-1, 5-2, and 6-3. But every single time Somerset came back. And not only the last time did they make it to 2, they've now cut it to a 1-goal lead for Dartmouth. Amazing.
I'm having trouble keeping up over here.
Yeah, me too. I keep trying to take notes, but Louis D'Souza has 4 goals. We know Nate Mello has a couple for Somerset. Louis D'Souza, as we said, had 4. I think, LaRock had the first 2 for Dartmouth. So, I mean, it's the same cast of characters. And, of course, Aiden Cruz has been setting up almost every other goal, or maybe the majority of the goals. So, it's just been some great talent to watch here on both sides of the puck.
Yeah, as I said, both of the studs of both teams have shown up. And, man, it's really fun to watch the top players from each team just going back and forth and battling and trying to see, who can outdo each other. And man, it's been a wild ride here. And when you messaged me at the beginning of the year before the Dartmouth schedule, once the Dartmouth schedule came out, we were talking about what games that we wanted to do, and we wanted to come here and announce for the Indians. And Somerset was an instant yes from both of us. We circled the game on the calendar, and this is why, is because we always see games like this where it's back and forth, similar skill sets and similar programs, and man, it just makes for some great hockey. And it's been great and a privilege to be here with you announcing tonight.
Well, I feel the same, and yes, it is a wild game between Dartmouth and Somerset. And what will happen in the third period, we'll find out. It's Dartmouth 6, Somerset 5, third period action coming up. Well, it's been a wild hockey game between Dartmouth and Somerset tonight. No question about that. Dartmouth leads Somerset 6-5, but 3 times have coughed up 3-goal leads. Scoring so far for Dartmouth, Louis D'Souza with 4 goals, Maddox Larocque with 2 goals, Aiden Cruz unofficially with 4 assists. For Somerset, Nate Mello and Brady Fitzpatrick with both 2 goals, and Evan Barboza with a single goal of his own. So what do you see here in the third period, Andrew?
Well, I think what we got to keep an eye on is the usage of the first line of the Indians by Coach Rossi. As the second half of the period there in the second, it seemed like they were getting a little tired. And I want to see if he rolls out the third line a little bit more here to kind of give that first line some rest so that they can go out pumping some more goals. It'll be interesting to see how that goes moving forward and how Coach Rossi decides to deploy his lines.
All right, so here we go. Somerset has been rolling a third line more often, and we'll see if they're more fresh in the third period as the puck goes into the offensive end. Somerset coming out of the corner. To the middle they go. Wrist shot through, wide of the net. Puck now behind Howarth for Dartmouth, the goaltender. And Louis D'Souza moves it up on the left wing side. He's got 4 goals tonight. Maddox Larocque trying to cut to the middle. Chips it behind the net. Louis D'Souza collects it. Back to the point, Will Gibson for the Indians. Gibson with a shot, deflected wide, and now Somerset will bank it all the way out. Stopped here by the Indians, DaCosta.
Blistering shot by Gibson, just sails right over the bar there.
Now Gibson again. Gibson with a shot! Oh, a glove save by Rodriguez. And his game has improved as the game has gone along.
Ooh, man, got a really good look at that. Gibson's floating through the slot there. You see how he's moving towards the left, and then he sees that little opening on the right, and Rodriguez is all over it. But you could see that wide open area on the net, on the right side of the net, and just wasn't able to get it in there.
Now here's Spurlett with a shot, blocked in front, loose puck, and it's picked up that time by Rodriguez, and he'll hang on for the faceoff.
Man, Rodriguez is really dialed in here, as you can see. The shot on net, and it's bouncing a little bit, and see how it just bounces right up, and he just scoops it right up.
Rodriguez in net there, the junior goaltender for Somerset. Jack Howarth, who's done well in the Dartmouth net, the sophomore. Now a chance for Dartmouth. There's a shot. Score! Chance Simmons.
Oh, baby, what a celebration from Simmons. He is all fired up as it seemed like Somerset was coming for Dartmouth there, eliminating the deficit down to 1 goal. And then Simmons gets the puck there right around the middle of the top of the circle. And, oh, man, he just picks his spot. What an absolute snipe, top shelf. And a big celebration. The Indians are fired up, back up by 2 here in the third. But make no mistake, Somerset is going to keep pushing you. So you have to make sure that you are limiting Somerset's opportunities for the rest of the period. As they always say, a 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey.
That's the sophomore Chance Simmons. Gives Dartmouth a 2-goal lead back. And the Indians on the offense again. Shot goes wide that time of Rodriguez. Now Gibson, the senior defenseman, can't collect. Puck goes back out to center ice. Here's Caden DaCosta. Stopped here by Somerset. Now it's taken away. Bopalin gets knocked down. No call. And the Indians fight to keep it in. Puck played down deep that time by Donacio. And Somerset skates it out. Out to center ice it goes. Stopped here by Joey Leone. That was Adam Preston. Preston moves it down into tries to move it out of the Somerset end. Maddox Larocque almost got a shot off. Larocque out in front to Souza. Shot goes wide of the net. Acosta for Dartmouth. Now to Maddox Larocque. Leaves it. To Souza. Aiden Cruz.
Nice little cycle there from the Indians, the offensive zone.
There's Cruz with a wrist shot. That was dangerous, and that gets deflected wide.
Seen a couple of those fluttering shots there, and there's always a split second of, uneasiness.
The Costa shot blocked. Souza tried to collect on the off-wing side. Gibson throws it to the net. And that does not find its way to Rodriguez. Somerset hemmed in at the moment. Larocque to the wing. Aiden Cruz gets his pass back out in front. And it hops over the stick of DaCosta, and he has to go back to get it. Indians carrying the play in the last couple of minutes. Here's Gibson. Shot deflected off the glass. Stopped here by Aiden Cruz. Aiden Cruz trying to move the puck in front of the net. Gets ridden off by the Somerset defense. Blankush behind the net. Brady Boparlin gets checked. Puck moved down there by Spurlett. Out in front. Maddox LaRocque looking to get another shot off. It's it over to Gibson. Gibson with a shot. Saved by Rodriguez.
Outstanding pressure by the Indians here in the offensive zone. Look at this just little play by Maddox LaRocque here as he gets the puck and drops it back to Gibson. The little things that Maddox LaRocque does impresses me so much. Just the patience that he's able to show with the puck on the ice as a sophomore is something that you don't see very often. It always just seems like he has eyes on the back of his head. And then, of course, as we saw earlier in the game, he has that blistering shot too. But good pressure from the Indians. Keep the puck in the offensive zone here.
Here's a chance here for Spurlett. Tries to get it to the slot area. Spurlett gets it again. Across. There's a wrist shot here by Frankie Long, and it doesn't find its way to the back of the net. And it's iced that time by Somerset, but no icing as it did deflect off one of the Dartmouth players. Frankie Long behind his own net for the Indians. Up ahead, looking for Boparlin. Follow up here by DaCosta. Drop pass. There's a shot that time by Boparlin. Loose puck in front of the net. Saved by Rodriguez. Now the Indians down deep. Kept in here by Spurlett. Behind the net, looking for Chance Simmons. Puck is iced this time by Somerset, and this time it is going to be icing.
Well, Somerset's definitely feeling the pressure right now. Dartmouth's had the puck in the offensive zone for seemingly the entire period so far. And if you're Coach Rossi, as we see right now on the camera, you know, you got to be pretty happy with the effort of the Indians in the first third of this period.
Mark Rossi, third year as the head coach of the Dartmouth Indians, assisted by Billy Rocha. Kevin Snyder, 35 years coaching over there at Somerset. Louis D'Souza, he's got 4 goals tonight. Lifts it up and bounces it down into the right wing corner. Somerset, many times it looked like they were going to be finished, and they keep coming back, and they do it again. Brady Fitzpatrick, he's got a couple of goals tonight. Shot, saved that time by Howarth. Jack Howarth, the sophomore goalie in net. There's another shot, saved by Howarth. Loose puck in front, ridden off that time, saved by Howarth. On the shot that time by Sylvia.
Man, what a play by Gibson. He lifts the stick right in the slot there on what could have been a goal to pull Somerset within one.
Rodriguez knocked that one down, but then lost it for a second. Somerset can't move it out. Aiden Cruz. Aiden Cruz at the circle. Couldn't get by the Somerset defense. And Gabriel Gonzalez for Somerset. Can't get it out. Pass across. Oh, another chance there for the Indians. One-timer shot by Cruz. Saved by Rodriguez. Cruz again. Couldn't cut in, and back comes Somerset.
Man, Cruz to LaRocque, and LaRocque just couldn't settle it.
In front, broken up that time by Gibson at the last second. Crashing into the net was Caden DaCosta. The net comes dislodged, and a face-off will be coming up in the Dartmouth end.
Oh, it's always frustrating when you're on the receiving end of one of those plays where the net comes dislodged, and it isn't your team that caused it, especially in this situation. You see Aaron Preston, the alternate captain for Somerset, kind of hanging his head there as he was teeing it up for a 1-tee right in the slot, and the puck is off, or the net was off out of the crease. So offensive zone faceoff is the result for the Raiders here with 9 minutes to go in the third.
Brady Boparlin wins it, but it's centered in front. What a stop that time by Howarth on the quick centering pass by Somerset. That might be his best of the night. Bang, bang play. Puck now in the offensive end here for Dartmouth. Somerset moves it out. Counter attack. Teams jockeying for position in center ice area. And it's going to be Spurlett for Dartmouth. Chance Simmons trying to move it out. Stopped that time by Howarth. And Frankie Long, sophomore defenseman, winding up here for the Indians. Stopped by Somerset. Backhander that time, weak by Brett Axon. Frankie Long in the right wing corner. Trying to move it out. Somerset keeping it in. Dartmouth looking to move it out of the zone, couldn't do it. Simmons got knocked down. Puck now collected by Somerset. 8:10 to go in the third period. 7-5 Dartmouth. Drew Spurlett. Now a chance here for Somerset. Centering pass intercepted by Aiden Cruz. Puck slid right back in by Somerset. Delayed offside. And Drew Spurlett winds up behind his own net. Spurlett banks it out to the center ice area. Somerset regrouping. Blue Raiders slide it all the way around. Cruz couldn't get it by his man. That was Nate Mello keeping it in. And now it's Spurlett. Spurlett for the Indians. Long pass ahead. Oh, he's looking for Maddox Larocque down the wing. Would have been in alone, but now Somerset out of the corner. Saved by Howarth. Sneaky shot that time by Bastis. Now another chance for Somerset. Barboza. Barboza to the middle. Barboza with a shot high and wide as Howarth tried to get over there with a glove. Another chance, backhander. Save, rebound. Oh, what a stop by Howarth! Nate Mello, can't believe it.
Oh, man. Howarth looks across the ice at Gavin Rodriguez, says, anything you could do, I could do better. Look at that. A skate save just like Rodriguez in the second is almost identical. It's an unbelievable stop there.
Oh, if there was ever a time that Jack Howarth needed to make a save like that, it was right then with 7 minutes left in the game.
Oh, man, a couple of nice saves here in the third period so far for Howarth. And, man, just pivotal saves at this point in the game.
Here comes Louis D'Souza. Centering pass. Oh, he was looking for Aiden Cruz, and now Somerset on the counterattack. Here they come into the offensive end. Rich shot. Saved by Howarth. Right skate save that time on Brady Fitzpatrick. Right pad save. And here comes Cruz. Cruz has some room down the middle. Can't penetrate. Cruz goes behind the net. Now it's Gibson. Gibson with a shot. High and wide of Rodriguez. 6.5 to go in regulation. Now a centering pass. Stopped that time by Rodriguez. And Rodriguez hangs on.
Oh, man, what action here. Back and forth the last couple of minutes. Couple chances for each team. And man, that save from Howarth, unbelievable. With around 7 minutes left here in the third to keep Somerset from pulling within one again. A dangerous Somerset team who just seems to keep coming back at you. And wow, what an unbelievable stop.
If Somerset could have cut it to one there, that would have been huge. As we come down to just around the 6-minute mark to go in the game. As the body is taken that time by Zach Donacio. Gibson keeping track of that point, but Somerset has it through the neutral zone. Going back to get it now is Caden DaCosta. Plays it across his own crease, and now a steal here by Somerset. They try to shove it out in front of the net. Nate Mello there trying to sneak one around the pipes, but Jack Howarth covers up.
At this point in the game, if you're Somerset, you got to try to get anything towards the net that you can. And looks like he's trying to get a centering pass to his teammate over there, Bastis, and he just isn't able to squeak it through.
Now, if Somerset is able to score a couple of goals and tie it up, there was a 5-minute overtime in regular season games that they instituted, I think, maybe a year ago. There's a shot deflected wide.
Is that a 3-on-3 or a 5-on-5 overtime?
Well, I think it's 5 minutes. I'm not sure how many players are on the ice, but hopefully it won't come to that. There's a shot through that's wide of the net. The Indians would have to cough up a lead, and there's a big hit that time by Bo Parlin. Now Somerset out in front. Blocked that time as down went Spurlett to block the centering pass. There's a shot. Score! It breaks off of the pad of Howarth. And into the net it goes. And credit the goal to Evan Barboza.
Oh, man, I was just finishing saying if you're Somerset, you just try to get the puck on the net at this point in the game. You only got 5 minutes left, and Barboza does just that. He takes a surprising shot from the bottom of the circle at an ugly angle, and he's able to just squeak it through right past Howarth. And again, you got to respect the resolve of Somerset. They just keep coming back at you. They've been at deficits all night, multiple times. And man, just so impressive how they're able to just keep coming at you.
All right, so it's 7-6, and if the game were to go into overtime, it is a 5-minute overtime, 4-on-4. And then after that, the game ends in a tie. So again, from the Dartmouth point of view, hopefully that doesn't happen. Somerset again, just relentless. Let's see what happens in the final 5. Somerset, long pass up. Back to get it right now is Caden DaCosta, and it's going to be icing with 4:52 to go. Wow, this has been one heck of a game.
Yeah, I mean, and now this is where, if I'm the coach of the Indians, right around this point, I'm thinking about a timeout here. You know, Somerset just scored a huge goal, and you know, you just want to make sure that your players are getting some rest. They're able to regroup so that Somerset's pressure is a little bit more neutralized, and that you can come back in with a fresh mindset. You only got a 1-goal lead. You've been up by pretty much 2 the entire night.
Now Gibson with a shot through. Saved that time by Rodriguez. 4:46 to go in the game.
Yep, Rodriguez here, nice and square in the crease. A shot from Gibson. It looked like Cruz might have even got a tip on it, and Rodriguez with a nice save there on the tip.
Somerset moving it out along the wing. Collected here. There's a shot through a screen, blocked in front. And here comes Somerset again. Gibson trying to keep the puck in front of them, but Somerset with an offensive opportunity. Aiden Cruz on the back check. Here comes Maddox Larocque, excuse me. Maddox Larocque. Nice to play it down. Gibson trying to help him. And here's Larocque. Bounces it down. 4:15 left. Sullivan for Somerset. Stopped here by Bo Parlin, and he throws that one up off of the netting. Now, I was double checking the overtime format, and it was 7-5. And then when it became 7-6, I opened the door here, and former Coach Rose is there, former Coach Martin, and I said, what was that overtime format again? And they all busted out laughing. I wasn't asking that because it was 7-6. I just wanted to make sure I had the facts correct. But as soon as it was 7-6, they saw me ask again, and they all busted out laughing.
Yeah,
well, hopefully
the way things are going, you know.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
So Somerset now with 4 minutes left. Let's see, a faceoff is called here. Not sure if it was a pass or a hand pass or
not sure what happened.
What happened there? Yeah, it's been a wild game here at the Headland, and a good crowd out here tonight. There's a shot. Tried to get a shot off, but Somerset skates it away. Here come the Blue Raiders. Into the offensive end. Sparlett knocks the puck off the carrier, and also hit that time was Fitzpatrick. He's got a couple of goals tonight.
Physical play picking up here between the two teams in the final minutes of the game.
Well, Parlin just knocked the man down. Here's a shot wide of the net. Puck comes back off the backboards. Somerset trying to get it out. Sparlett keeps it in. Sparlett plays it down on the left wing side. Now it's blasted right down there by the Indians. And that was Chance Simmons. 3:15 left. Long shot down here on goaltender Howarth. Not a bad play there. They got the offensive zone faceoff on a shot that came from the other end of the ice.
I mean, here we go. We got, looks like both of the top units of both teams here with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left. So maybe a shift or two left for each of these guys here. And we'll see which team's able to capitalize, or, you know, if the Indians can hold off the Raiders here for the last few minutes.
Somerset with a chance. Shot goes wide of the net on the short side. Off the stick of Nate Mello. Somerset in the offensive end. Shot goes right across the crease. Maddox Larocque bangs it out to center ice, trying to send Louis Cruz. Somerset back on the counterattack. Taken away by Maddox LaRock. Played down deep here by Bastis. That comes all the way around. We have a penalty coming up. And is going against Dartmouth. Somerset going on a power play with 2:41 to go. D'Souza going to the box.
Oh, man. Big power play here for the Raiders. And looks like a little bit of a cheap shot there from behind by Lucas D'Souza, and that is just a penalty you cannot take at this point in the game. Up 1 goal with 2 minutes left, especially against a unit like the Raiders.
Somerset setting up in the offensive end, a wing-to-wing pass. Collected here by Nate Mello. Rock couldn't clear the zone. Now it's Barboza trying to come out from behind the net. Drew Spurlett battling. Barboza back to the point. Barboza gets a pass back. He's on the near half wall. One-time shot. Getting a piece of it was Howarth. Here's Bastis. Now it's stopped here by Sullivan. There's a shot. Save. Bouncing puck. Oh, it popped in the air off the arm of Howarth.
Oh, man, what a juicy rebound there. And you see Howarth sliding across to the other end of the net wide open, and just nobody was there for the Raiders to get it, put it in.
Here's Barboza. Back to the point. Pass across. There's Sullivan. Sullivan shot off the skate of Aiden Cruz. Sullivan couldn't get it, and it's a breakaway. Here comes Maddox. Oh, and he couldn't cut in. Maddox LaRock cutting in on the goaltender, Rodriguez.
Oh, man, what a save by Rodriguez. Huge save there. One of Dartmouth's best players, LaRock, coming in, and he knew exactly what he was going to do. He went backhand, forehand. Just an unbelievable stop there with a minute left.
Here's Somerset. Rich shot, saved by Howarth as he was looking 5-hole there. Bastis. 30 seconds left on the power play. Gibson behind the net. Taken away here by Cruz. Cruz ices the puck. And, of course, the Indians shorthanded. 1 minute left on the game. Somerset trying to carry it into the offensive end. Wrist shot, wide of the net. Long, juicy rebound. Spurlett clears it out. The goaltender was trying to come out. He collects it, banks it down. And let's see what happened. Was there an offside? It looks like it. No, a cross check. Who is this going against?
So much going on in the ice. The net was knocked off in the Indian zone as well. And let's see what the ref determines here after that. After that play.
Well, this is really big because that's going to put the Indians on the power play as Brady Fitzpatrick goes to the box. And that really hurts Somerset trying to get the equalizer here.
And now the timeout will be called.
That's going to be Mark Rossi calling his timeout for Dartmouth. Wow, it's been a wild last couple of minutes. That power play, boy, Somerset came very, very close to tying this game up.
Yeah, just great pressure there by Somerset, obviously on the power play at the end of the game. And just a big flurry of chances there. And they're unable to capitalize. The Indians able to hold them off and clear the puck a couple of times out of the zone. We get a replay here. This is a couple of the Somerset chances. See, we got the puck on the point here. Throw it in front. And the rebound right there. And oh, man. Good thing Gibson was there to clear it out. Exactly where he's supposed to be. Clear out that deadwood in front of the net there.
There's only 2 seconds left on the 4-on-4, and then the Indians will go on the power play. So that man will come right out into the center ice area. And Somerset wins the faceoff. Gibson got knocked down that time. Here's Barboza out in front. Great stop that time by Howarth. Oh, he robs Bastis. Oh, Bastis had a great chance to tie it up. Here comes Maddox LaRock out in front. Saved that time by Rodriguez. Maybe one last chance here for Somerset. Here they come. Sullivan. He's going to be offside. And Louis D'Souza gets in his face, as does Aiden Cruz. Oh, another great stop by Howarth.
Oh, man, Howarth. Unbelievable. I thought for sure that was a hook. You see the coaches on the Dartmouth bench putting their arm up right there. That right there is a hook. And they don't call it. And then look at this wide open. And oh, man, what a save. 30 seconds left. Unbelievable Howarth with 2 game-breaking saves here in the third period.
Well, the Indians are on the power play. It's 5-on-4, so Somerset would have to score a shorthanded goal. There's a shot by D'Souza. Saved that time by Rodriguez. They got a man hanging out at center ice as they're hoping to break somebody. Only 5 seconds left. It looks like Dartmouth is going to survive. Let's see. 1 second left. And that is going to be the end of it. As Evan Barboza breaks his stick. Dartmouth hangs on, beating Somerset in a thriller and a wild one. 7-6 here at the Headland.
Unbelievable hockey game. I mean, this game had a little bit of everything. Physicality, highlight reel goals, multiple highlight reel saves on both ends. What else can you ask for as a hockey fan? I mean, just an unbelievable game between two really respectable programs here.
All right, we're going to take a look at the Dartmouth goals, of which there were 6 of them.
7.
That's right. Yes, 7. It's only the one that won the game.
So there's the little bounce off the backboards, a slap shot in close by LaRock. LaRock again on the feed from Cruz. Then you got the feed from Cruz over to D'Souza. And you have D'Souza come in again with a nifty little dangle there in tight. Cruz with a feed again to D'Souza, bar down. Cruz again with another feed, D'Souza. And then finally you got Simmons there with the game-winning goal. And man, the celebration screamed game-winning goal, did it not?
Absolutely. So Simmons with that 1 goal, Maddox LaRock with 2, and Lucas D'Souza with 4. And you had Aiden Cruz unofficially with 4 assists for Somerset. Nate Mello, Evan Barboza, and Brady Fitzpatrick with 2 goals apiece. But how about the goaltending? Early in the game, it was Rodriguez, but then down the stretch, Jack Howarth with some tremendous saves for the Dartmouth Indians.
Man, just like I said, 2 game-breaking saves, man. It really looked like on both of those plays, the puck should have gone in for Somerset, and it just didn't. You see the frustration at the end of the game. I believe it was Barboza who actually had a great night. He slammed his stick and broke his stick on the ice. You know, the frustration because, man, it really felt like it was within their grasp, that big comeback, and they kept fighting all night, and they were grinding all night, and they just weren't able to pull it off. But, man, what an unbelievable hockey game.
Well, that was a lot of fun. With the win, the Indians go to 5-4 on the season. Somerset falls to 4-3. For my partner here, Andrew Santos, I am Paul Santos. Final score again, Dartmouth 7 and Somerset 6. We'll see you again next time for more Dartmouth High School hockey here on Dartmouth Community Media. Have a great night.